Hey everybody, Terry here. I'm just on property today training dogs. I wanted to stop and do a quick video for you about what to expect from training. What do I get out of training? What does that look like? So we have a few different programs, 1, 2, and 3 weeks, and some things in between. We have board and train where the dog stays with us. We have a drop-off program where you drop the dog off and pick it up every day, and several other programs. All of those programs are on our website. You can check them out. Very good description of what's offered. Now, the way this works is every week builds on the next week. So the first week is foundation. Whether you're doing a 1, 2, and 3 week or 3 week program, they all start the same. You get a better dog the longer they're with us. So the 1 week we work on foundation, we work on communication with the leash, handler focus, the dog understanding place, loose leash walk, that's a tongue twister, loose leash walk. So the dog, when you get the dog back, the dog will understand to walk in a heel and not to drag you on the leash. Duration in place, the dog will have and understand duration in place. It just won't be solid if you leave the room, right? You'll work on that. We'll tell you how to work on that. And so it's just the foundation week. You're learning the sits, the downs, the place, all of the basics. And dog understands all of that, understands communication, and then we insert you in leadership to continue working with that dog. A 2 week program, that's where it's solidified. So we do the 1 week foundation. 2nd week is the dog doing the repetitions, right? Doing them over and over and over again. The dogs learn everything by repetition. The difference between training at your house and you training and us training is we have a staff of trainers that do repetitions with this dog all day long. So what may take you 3 months to get the repetitions in for this dog to learn, we can do in a week because that's our focus. We only have about 4 to 5 dogs per trainer, and so that's a lot of sessions a day per dog, right? And so during the repetitions, everything's solidified. We expand everything. We go from a loose leash walk toward the end of that 2nd week. Now they're heeling off leash or with e-collar. I don't want to cloud the waters by saying that the dog is off leash trained. Yes, they are off leash trained. They don't have the physical leash, but they're still responding to that e-collar. Right, so that's important to know. But by the end of the 2nd week, they're doing it. They understand off leash. They understand recall. Recall comes in more into the 2nd week. As far as distance recall outside, the 1st week we're working on recall inside, in a controlled environment. 2nd week everything moves to outside, moves to distractions. We amp it up. Then we do those repetitions over and over and over again. Now with place training, 1st week we're just teaching principles of place. 2nd week, those dogs in between sessions, instead of going to the kennel to relax and rest, they're resting on place in front of other dogs while we're training. Teaches them to turn off. So they get hours and hours in that week of doing nothing, and believe me, you want nothing to be a command. People come over, go to place, do nothing, right? And so the 3rd week, if you do a 3 week program with us, the 1st week, the 2nd week are foundation, repetitions. The dog understands, the dog gets really good at what they're doing, right? Now the 3rd week, if you do a 3 week program with us, that gets the dog out in the environment. That gets the dog proofed in all different kinds of areas. We take the dog as many places as we can. We're still working on repetitions. We're still doing that stuff, but we're teaching the dog to lay down in place with distractions outside of the facility and little cafes. We take the dogs all over town. And we take dogs out to fields and work on recall and all that stuff. So the 3rd week gets the dogs out working in the real world, right? Now, every dog is different. However, every dog comes home with the same skills. Maybe a different level of skills, but if they're not getting the skills, which this rarely happens, we just keep them a few more days. It's pretty simple, because we know it's all about that repetition, just doing it over and over and over again. And after training is really important too, because we're training the dogs. We're professional trainers. That's what we do. We have an environment set up for dogs, an environment set up for training, and your house is not set up for training. So you're going to take this trained dog home. We're going to show you what to do. You're going to do some things. You're going to fumble. You're going to, be unsure about some things. The dog's going to push back because the dog is going to want to do exactly what you did before. Exactly. That's what your dog's going to want to do. Oh, this is my house. I know I can just wreck this place. It's okay. It's what I've always done. And so when you get home, that's when the training for your home comes in. You take the foundation we've built, all this stuff we've showed you. You've seen videos, and now you're saying, dog, you have to do this in my house, which is kind of a struggle because your dog has been acting however it wants to act up until now. But you're saying, hey, no, remember the rules. and we tell you to pick a couple things and work on those 2 things, and then you just move on up from that. So that's the gist of the programs. Know that after the programs, there are follow-up sessions. So important to do those. So important. If the dog has 3 weeks of training, it's impossible to show you within 1 hour what to do. But those follow-up sessions afterwards, and if you do a 3-week program, if you live within a reasonable distance from where we are, then that one is at your house, which is way important, because the dog's gonna act different at the facility or out at a park where we've trained them than a dog will at your house. So important to set those follow-up sessions up. That's where we problem solve. And that dog with us gets free follow-ups for the rest of its life. So as the dog matures, you're gonna have problems. As your whole dynamics change, you're gonna have problems. As your health changes, you might have problems, and we're here for you. So that's the gist of our programs. That's what they do. You can get a bullet point line by line on our website. If you have any questions, just reach out to us. We'll be happy to answer them for you and take care of you. Thank you for considering us. Thank you for using us. And we love what we do.